For more, we're joined now by former Pentagon official Michael Maloof. Always a pleasure to see you, Michael. As Deborah Sweet just explained, the humanitarian catastrophe in Yemen would not be possible without support from the United States. Why then is there a virtual blackout in the mainstream media when it comes to this crisis?
Because they're all focused on North Korea and on Trump's alleged collusion with Russia still. But what you're pointing out is a very, very serious development in Yemen. It is catastrophic, and the fact that they have just bombed the port city of Hodeida, they're trying to do a blockade as well, but 250,000 people in that city are in jeopardy from indiscriminate bombing, as you pointed out with the cholera, but that's just one example. They're hitting all over. They're hitting civilian targets, and that actually is against international law.
And as I mentioned, as you mentioned as well, the cholera outbreak, worst recorded in history. Meanwhile, some liberal pundits and politicians have criticized Trump for meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un this week, saying he legitimized a dictatorship in doing that. Yet, when Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman visited the United States earlier this year, he was embraced by both parties, as well as Hollywood and Wall Street. Silicon Valley welcomed him with open arms. Why is this?
They were bought off, basically. The Saudis basically have Trump in their pocket. They have all these companies because they see potential for investment. The Saudi Crown Prince Salman feels he has now has a way with doing whatever he wants at this point. We not only see it in Yemen, which is catastrophic, but also potentially threatening Iran itself. And there's no stopping the guy.
Do you see that as a real possibility to escalate a war against Iran?
Well, it's starting, and I think that it's quite possible that he could, especially if it looks like Iran is doing quite well. But back to the Yemen just for a second. The U.S. did condemn the bombing, but they're not stopping it. And this is the problem. They're still supplying the arms. They've got to stop doing it. In fact, they ought to cut Saudi Arabia off. And it's also the UAE that's involved in this.
And not only do they supply the arms, the United States refuels the jets which carry out the bombing. They provide Saudi military with intelligence. So this is, it's hard to separate the United States role from all of this.
That's correct.
Though it's difficult to see a Saudi strategy at this point, or really at any point in the war, beyond bombing the country into oblivion, especially when we consider the level of suffering caused by cholera and the economic blockade alone. What will it take for this war to end?
I think the United States has to absolutely stop any further military development. In a perfect world, that's what it would take. But again, the Saudis have bought the United States off, and I think only world pressure and focus and attention is going to draw attention to the Yemeni crisis at this point. And it's not happening at the moment.
Some may ask where the anti-war movement in this country is. Could be putting some pressure on the government here in this country. Michael Maloof, former Pentagon official, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.